Hello everyone, it's Kathy and welcome back here to my YouTube channel and my craft room. You're here at Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. Please excuse my voice. I haven't felt well for the last couple of days. It was a really rough Saturday and Sunday for me. This is Tuesday's video, but I am recording it on Monday, and my voice has not been quite up to par, and I don't know if I'm trying to come down with something. I'm not sure what it is, but anyway, many of you already know that I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in the state of North Carolina, but if you are looking for a demonstrator or someone to order from, please allow me the privilege to be your consultant, your demonstrator. I put up 3 videos a week using a lot of Stampin' Up! Products, mostly Stampin' Up! There are a few things that are thrown in there that Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry, and I have a link to those on my Craft Room favorites, and it's always at the bottom of the video, and also on my PDF tutorial that you can download for free and get all of the stamping dimensions of the card. You can get all the products that I use with the order number, as well as a link to the video, just a lot of information on that PDF. And it also will take you to the blog, which that's where you find the PDF tutorial. And it's a place where every project that I do, I have pictures, I have the PDF tutorial. I have a link where you can click to go shop at my store. And I also put up the YouTube video so that if you want to go back and watch it, that's one way you can always find it very easily. And they're always classified by date and then the name of the video. So today what we're going to be doing, I have laid out, I do these just about every year. And this year I decided to use the Magical Meadow, and I have 4 ink pads. I have Blueberry Bushel, Moody Mauve, Lost Lagoon, and Smoky Slate. And we're going to use the foliages out of this stamp set, this image, this one, and this one. And I've assigned each one a color. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So let's do this again. Let's cut this at 10.5. So again, that would be a 1/2 inch off the side. I thought that was correct. And then I was like, oh my goodness. So one of those cases where I just got my measurements a little bit off. This one is going to go to 8. So it's going to be 8 by 10.5. And please excuse my dog. Today is trash day, and every time a truck goes up the road, he has a hissy fit. So I do apologize for that. All right, so we know this side is 10.5, and we want to divide that in half. So that's going to be 5 1/4. So that's going to give us our, and I am moving that cut blade out of my way, and I'm going to score right down the middle. Then we're going to take our 8-inch side, and I'm making sure it's 8, and it is, and we're going to score it at 4. Now we have our coordinates are correct. And I don't know with this being on white if you can see the cross mark, but I can see those. And if you do this at home, you'll be able to see it too. And again, like I said, all of the measurements and the cutting dimensions and everything will be on my blog. So don't fear and feel like you have to write everything down as we're going, because I always lay everything out. And I've got something on that side of the paper. So we're going to turn it over. Anytime I have a boo-boo on one side, just turn it over. So I've already have my stamps loaded up on the different blocks, and I'm going to start out with that beautiful Blueberry Bushel. And we are going to kind of make our own designer series paper. So I'm going to ink that up, and look how juicy that ink is. And this one, I'm going to go right in the middle. So my middle mark is right, let's see if I can bend that just a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Oh, look what I am bleeding. My finger is bleeding somewhere. I must have nicked myself on the trimmer. Okay. I'm going to fold this up like that, and I think you can better see that cross mark now. And I'm going to go right in the middle, and I'll put this down right on that line in the middle. Like that. Isn't that beautiful? So the next thing I want to do is I want to follow my lines out. So I'm going to ink that up again. And I'm going to come this way. And I'm going to bring that across on that line. Something like that. I'm going to get an alcohol white and see if I can figure out where I'm bleeding, because I even got blood on my stamp block. And remember nicking my finger just a little bit on there, but I've got a couple other cuts on my finger, so I was thinking maybe one of those broke open, but no, I think it was right here. I nicked my right hand ring finger. But you know what? We keep on stamping, right? If we have to grab a Band-Aid, we'll do that too. So I'm going to ink that up one more time, and I'm going to come this direction now, and I'm going to stamp it down. Then I want to kind of go up and down that score line, and I'm going to do something like that, and we're going to turn it, and I'm going to do something like that. So that's getting us there. So you can see we have a plan here. I want to ink this because I want to put a couple more sprigs of this one, maybe like here. And here. Maybe right about there. And here. How gorgeous is that? That is so pretty. So I'm done with my blueberry bushel, so I'm going to go ahead and close this one up. And I'm going to grab my next color, which I think I want to come in now with the Moody Mauve, and we're going to use this little image. So pretty. I'm not sure what kind of little buds or balls that those are. I know they're beautiful. So let me do one more thing before we go any further, and that's clean. I still got blood on my fingers. Look, I cut my thumb. I knew I nicked one of my fingers, but I just wasn't sure which one. And it's definitely my thumb because it's burning when I wipe it with the alcohol wipe. So I don't want to blood up this beautiful sheet of cardstock, and I don't want to waste a piece of cardstock because I'm bleeding. I may have to get a little tissue or something and stick on it just to help it clog a little bit. So I'm just going to take a little piece of tissue. Do you remember doing this when you were teenagers and you cut your legs when you were shaving them? I very seldom ever cut my leg when I'm shaving my legs anymore. I guess, over the period of what, 55 years of shaving my legs, I've gotten better at it. It doesn't appear to be bleeding now, so we're just going to go with it and see what happens. I'm going to lay this up here, and I'm going to clean that stamp before I go any further because that is a nice dark pigmented ink, and I want to make sure that my stamp is nice and clean. So I love my Stampin' Scrub because this thing will last you forever. You can activate it with just plain water, or you can use a stamp cleaner or both. So it's very versatile, and I love it for that. Yes, I'm bleeding again, y'all. I did. I cut it on the trimmer. I know exactly when I did it. I was moving that blade out of my way, and look, I have a boo-boo. All right, let's bring this back down, and let's grab our Moody Mauve, and we're going to try that. If I can do it without getting this in the ink. Let's tear that off just a tiny bit so it's not hanging. And now I want to come in, and in between these, I want to stamp some of these little Moody Mauve berries. And you can see how easy this comes together because you have open places where you can stamp. And they're so beautiful. And you can stamp in different directions if you like. I'm kind of going in one direction here. We'll come back. We'll probably come back with some more of those. So I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to grab now my Lost Lagoon. This gives us a nice green color, and I'm going to use this stamp And I'm going to go ahead and saturate that. And then I'm going to go in. Let's see how we want to do this one. I'm going to go in like here. Maybe right here. Let's come around and do one across here. Let's do one up and maybe right about there. I'm going to do one right in here. And do I want to do one here? Yeah, let's do one right about here. Okay, we're starting to cook with gas, don't you think? Starting to look really pretty. So I'm going to close that up, and I am going to clean this stamp. So again, I'm going to lay this up out of my way. I'll bring over my Stampin' Scrub, and I'm going to clean this off. The only reason I didn't clean off the Moody Mauve, I'm going to go back in and use that one, and I knew that, so didn't need. So this is that one that looks almost like a little eucalyptus type plant. We're going to use the, and look, I tore that off that time. I don't know if it's going to stick back or not. Oh, I hate it when I cut myself, especially when I'm doing a live. You know, if not a live, but a recording, anytime you're recording, it always makes it hard if you have a boo-boo. But you know what? It's okay. We all have little boo-boos that happen when we're crafting. We all do. So I'm going to bring this back down. And now this one, I just want to kind of jaunt it out every here and there just to give a little different look to my piece. And here. Maybe a little bit right there. And I think I'm going to do this one right about in here. A little bit right across there. And a little bit right there. And I think that is good enough with this one. So I think we're done with the Smoky Slate. So let's hope I'm done bleeding. We'll see. You know, that right thumb always gets a workout when we're crafting, because if you're right-handed, you know, we do everything with that right hand. So let's move that ink pad out of our way. I want to move this up. We're going to come back in with a little bit more of the Moody Mauve and the little berries. Okay, so now we're ready to come back in with that Moody Mauve, and we are going to do a little bit more of this little berry, because I want it to come a little bit more in here, there, there, maybe right about here. And I think that will be sufficient. I think we have enough of those that it's looking really pretty. So now that we've got everything stamped, I'm going to clean this one real quick. I hope I'm not bleeding on that. Hopefully not. If you've ever cut yourself on your trimmer, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So easy to do, and I'm telling you what, those little blades are sharp. And to think I need to change mine. Mine's gotten dull because I can tell that it's starting to fray my paper. That's usually an indication that I need to change my blade. So now we've got this ready to go, and we can put it back in our trimmer and cut it on those lines. Look what I did. I bled on the back of that. You know what? Nobody has to know. So I'm going to lay it in with the stamp side down, and I'm going to line it up in the track like so. And that's going to be right at 5 1/4. And I'm going to put my score blade out of the way, and I'm going to come in the middle of this and sink these blades and go up and down. And then I'm going to take one of these pieces and I'm going to turn it and I'm going to line it up at 4. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come to the middle, sink it, and cut it. And then we're going to do this one the same way. I'm going to bring it to 4. Just like that. And now we're going to turn them over and reveal what we have. This is what we have. These beautiful pieces that we can use for cards. That looks beautiful in that direction. This one's pretty in that direction. This one, I think I like it like this, and this one like that. Aren't they gorgeous? So now what we need to do is we need to cut some card base, some mats to go behind these. So I am going to use a Moody Mauve because I think that'll really bring out the mauve color. So I need to cut, let's see, these were 4. We could just not mat these and put them directly down on a card base. Let's try that. Let's do a card base, and I'm gonna cut it on the 11-inch side, and I'm gonna cut it in half at 5.5. And then we'll score those in just a moment. And let's see what else we got. I've got some Lost Lagoon. Let's go ahead and cut that at 5.5 on the 11.5-inch side, or the 11-inch side. Okay, so that gives us 2 card bases. That's enough to do our cards, but I also wanted to see what it was going to look like on the blueberry bushel. Such a beautiful color. So I'm going to line that up right there and slice it in half. Now we have some beautiful card bases that we can literally throw our cards together on. I am going to grab my scoreboard because I like to be able to score my card bases using my Simply Scored scoring tool. So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to grab my stylus. Yes, I did find it. Y'all know the other day I told you I had lost it. It was under my chair. I was looking all around, but not under. So there you go. So look in the most obvious places. I'm going to score this at 4.25. And there's one card base. And I'm going to do one in the Lost Lagoon. And fold it. We'll get those varnished in just a minute. I like to get everything scored first. And then another one at 4.25. And this is in that Moody Mauve. So pretty. And that's 3. So we're going to need one more, but I haven't decided which one I like enough. Let's put our pieces together and then we'll see. So I'm going to bring over my bone folder. Let's see if I can find it. I know it's on my desk here somewhere. And because I'm using a darker card base, I am going to actually use this Teflon bone folder. And if you're interested in one of these, they are a great bone folder to have. They do not, any of your dark colored papers, you know how you'll take a black one and use a regular bone folder on it, and you get that sheen? You can lay a piece of copy paper over it and do it and not get the sheen. This bone folder will allow you not to have it. Plus, if you need a styling stylus, this will work in your scoreboard as well. So it's like a 2-for-1, and I love that. All right, let's bring this one over and look at that. Is that not gorgeous? All right, I'm going to set that over, and then I'm going to go ahead and varnish this one. Like I said, this Teflon bone folder is wonderful. They're a little more pricey than your regular bone folder, but I think they're so worth it because they are just gorgeous. And then let's put this one down like this. Oh, look at that. Is that not beautiful? I love it. I love it. I'm not sure which color I'm loving the best. All right, so then we're going to take this one, and I think I want it to go in this direction. Let's crease this down really good. And I think I want this one like that. And now we need to decide what we want the last one on. And I am thinking, I'm loving that blue. I think I'm going to go with this one. So let's bring our scoring tool back up. I just lopped the foot off of mine, but you know what? I'm going to stick it, I'm going to lay it over here and I'll stick it down after the video. Sometimes the little feet come off of those. Got my styling tool, and I'm going to score this again at 4 1/4 and fold it into the mountain. And then we'll burnish that down. And we will put this one on like this. Oh, they're so pretty. And if you did a couple sheets of these, now I do have a little bit of fraying on my card stock, so I'm just going to burnish it down and try to get that evened out a little bit. You'll be surprised what your bone folder can do anytime you have a little bit. And if you need to sand it, I have a link for sanding blocks, and they actually work really well. I don't have an exact sanding block. Mine's like a nail file type thing. I have some on order, but I just haven't gotten them yet. But if you do this, if you have any frayed edges, that will clean it up. So anytime you see frayed edges, you're going to need some type of little sanding block to kind of clean those off with. And it will, that way you'll be able to use your blade a little bit longer, and it works every time. So, and if I have to pause in the middle of this and get up, I have a lasagna in the oven that's cooking for supper tonight. And I like to cook my lasagna ahead of time and let it rest and then bring it back out and reheat it, because everybody knows lasagna, like spaghetti or anything with a tomato-based sauce, is better when it's heated over. So it's my little trick to make it taste good on night one. So, okay, we've got these all laid out. So let's go ahead and decide what sentiments we want to use. We could make a Christmas card out of one of these. I think this one I'm going to make a Christmas card. This one I want it to be a birthday card. I think I want this one to be a get well card. So let's get some sentiments. I'm going to go to my go-to greetings. If you do not have this stamp set, you owe it to yourself to purchase it. I go to this one over and over and over. So I'm going to pull out my happy birthday, and I'm using the middle one because it will fit on this card beautifully. And we might even be able to do it here if we stamped it in black. I don't know. Do I want it here? Or do I want to change my orientation? Oh, decisions. I think I'm going to keep it like that. I like that orientation for this particular card. And I'm going to stamp it right about there in some bold black ink. And I think that will work. We could go right here. Let's do that. Let's go right here. And again, I think I'm going to go with up here, I'm going to go with the Moody Mauve. So let me grab my mauve ink pad. And what's so good about making some cards like this, we always need a quick happy birthday card. So when you're just kind of at a loss of what you need to make or want to make some of these. And even if you don't put them on a card base, just make them and cut them, and you'll have them ready when you need them. Look how beautiful that is. So that's one. And I think I want to do another one that says, thinking of you. So let's get out thinking of you. Let's get my Stampin' Scrub back out because we need to make it do double duty here. I'm going to clean that one off. And let's put thinking of you on this one. And this one, I think I want to do it in that blueberry bushel. I'm going to come down to right about there and stamp. Oh, I messed that one up. See what happened? I should have looked at it before I stamped it. Ah, okay. We're going to let that dry for just a minute. We'll try our mono sand eraser on that and hope that it will clean it up. So let me grab my Stampin' Scrub again. And you can go over and over and over with these and make them different. You know, what I'm saying is when every time you stamp this, it's not going to come out the same. And you can use a variety of sentiments on here. I want a, I need to look for something that has a get well sentiment. So let's see what we can find that is. And you know, sometimes it's so hard to find the right sentiment for cards that is something. I do have it with deepest sympathy. Let's do this one as a sympathy card. And this is coming from something fancy. So I am going to grab out with deepest sympathy. And I want this to go right about there. And we're going to do it with the Lost Lagoon. Do you see the pattern I'm using? I'm using the color that I actually stamped my, I'm using the color of my card base is what I'm trying to say. Oh, goodness gracious. I have just not been feeling well at all, y'all. It's been a really rough time for me. But I am trusting in God that He is going to heal my body and get me back on my feet where I will feel like doing all the things that I did before and then some. So just continue to pray for me. I do appreciate it with deepest sympathy. So now we have a birthday card, a thinking of you card, and a sympathy card. So now I want to get well card. So I am going to clean this stamp. Find my pad, my Stampin' Scrub. And I'm just going to scrub that off like that. And I'm going to look for a get well card. And here's the perfect one. Hope you feel better soon. This is in the So Sincere, and this is another great stamp set. I love this. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use this. Hope you're feeling better soon. And this will fit perfectly right about there. I think it's going to look beautiful. And we're going to use the blueberry bushel again for this one. Now, because I'm making these up ahead of time, and I do like to do the inside of my cards, but because I'm making these ahead so that I'll have some make ahead cards, I don't know who they're going to, so I'm going to hold off until I know exactly where they're going and who they're going to. So let's bring this one back down that I did a boo-boo on. I'm going to clean this stamp really quick. Nice and clean. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love it when I can clean my stamps so effortlessly. And the Stampin' Scrub is definitely a tool. And this is a good size piece. I mean, you can see it measures 7 1/4 by 7 1/4, or 7 1/2. Yeah, about 7 1/4 by 7 1/2. And it is just great because you got 2 Velcro pieces on here. These pop out. They've got little teeth on each side that holds them in, but you can take a spatula or a like a case knife, a butter knife, and go up under it and it pops right out. Take it to the sink and clean it and let it air dry for a little bit and put it back in, and you're ready to go again like it's brand new. I could not be happier with that piece. Okay, so now what we need to do is adhere our cards. So this one's going to go on like that. So I'm going to go ahead and use some Stampin' Seal. And the only reason I'm using Stampin' Seal is this will go quicker. And I want to get this video up and out and just show you when you are in the need. And you can do the same thing. You could do the same set and put Christmas colors on it. And you would have a beautiful Christmas card, a set of Christmas cards. Maybe you'd like to give a set of Christmas cards to someone. It would be a great way to do this. So that one's on there. Now let's do this one on here. We're going to work that last one and hope we can get that ink off. Hopefully we can. So I'm going to lay this one. I always check to make sure my card's opening the right way. And put that down like that. And then we're going to do the Moody Mauve. And again, I'm checking to make sure my card is opening from this side. And it is. So turn that over and a little bit more Stampin' Seal. I love this stuff because it is so easy to use. There was a time when it wasn't, when they first came out with it. I really think that they reformulated it, even though they did not publicize it. I think the first batch of those were bad, and a lot of people got very discouraged with the Stampin' Seal for that reason. But I would encourage you, if you have not used the Stampin' Seal in a while, give it a try. So here's the piece that I did the boo-boo on. So I'm going to grab my mono sand eraser. And what it does, it actually sands off the paper so that it will take off your ink sometimes. Sometimes if it gets in there too deep, you can't get it out. But we're going to do our level best. That's pretty much in there, I'm telling you. I'm still working it, y'all. Oh, I didn't want to work it that hard. Oh, come back here. I got my dog under my chair, so that's not a good thing. No, baby. No. All right, we did pretty good. We still got a little bit on here. And this happens sometimes. You know, this is one of those things that happens to every crafter. But if you're patient and you're willing to put in the little bit of work that it takes to sand that off of that paper, you can get rid of it. It might leave a little bit of a flaw there. You could always put down a little butterfly or something to cover that, which would be gorgeous. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I got it pretty much. You can see there's still a little speck, but it's not bad. So I'm going to see if I can work this piece right here a little bit more. Just like that. And look, it looks perfect. All right, so I'm going to grab one of my little butterfly. If I can find them. Here we go. These are the brushed brass butterflies, and if you have a little boo-boo like that, this is the perfect way to cover it up. So take your pick tool and bring off one of your butterflies and put it right over top of where that boo-boo was. And you can take one of the smaller ones and put it right here. And guess what? No boo-boos. I love it. I absolutely love it. When I can hide my boo-boos like that, that's a good thing. So I'm going to bring down my card base, and I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back of this one. And like I said, you could use this for Christmas as well if you want to do the muted colors like this, or I should say maybe the brighter colors. Or you could do this in a beautiful green and red or cherry cobbler and the different shades of green, and it would be as gorgeous. So there are 4 quick cards that we made just doing the stamping. This is nothing but paper, stamp, and inks, and how gorgeous are those? So thanks so much for tuning in. God bless and keep you. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week, and we will see you on Friday on our live at 2 p.m. No, I'm sorry, not Friday. Scratch that. I will see you Thursday at 2 o'clock for our live. I have to have my procedure done on my bladder, a CAT scan, and also a scope. So I will not be available Friday because of testing. So God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Lord Jesus. He paid it all for us, and we can pay it back to him by showing love. Love each other, and most of all, love your God, your Father. And in closing, take care, God bless, and know that I love you. Bye bye.